Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426 and today we have the review of the Burning Liger from the Zoids Wild Zenki series made by Takara Tomy. Now for those who aren't too familiar or knowledgeable with Zoids, you might be thinking, isn't Zoids made by Kotobukiya or anything? No, Kotobukiya is basically, as far as I know, is getting license from Takara Tomy to make very high-end model kits of Zoids, but not sure. I believe they have made 2 HMM Zoids from the Zoids Wild series, but most of their Zoids are from the actual original Zoid series and and some other series of Zoids as well. Originally, Takara Tomy made the original toys back then as well for Zoids as well. So, the Burning Liger, as far as I know, I have not seen the main anime, but there is actually like a very short series of Zoids Wild Zenki, which shows more of the militaristic aspects of the overall Zoids Wild series as far as I know. Because Zoids, the original series, the premise was that there has been a very huge war going on, the war was over. They used these Zoids as weapons as well, and they were like wild Zoids, as in like sentient beings, Zoids, like that works like wild animals. So if you can get in touch with those, you can pilot them as well, yada yada. I think that premise is still alive in the Zoids Wild series as far as I've seen some stuff as well. But anyway, beyond that, I've seen the Burning Liger and I actually like the design, and it does not have one of the aspects that I personally despise as well, so which is why I bought it. Now the main reason why I as much as I was very excited for the Zoids to come back, after seeing the designs and especially the main aspect that kind of discouraged me was the way how these new Zoids would be piloted, where the pilot seats would be. And I'll get into that later. But anyway, the Zoids Wild Zenki, the short web animation was pretty cool. And yeah, I actually want to get a few other parts, and also might consider Xenorex as well. Alright, so I would like to mention this review is going to be very different from a Gunpla review, because Zoids Wilds, anything that's made from Takara Tomy, even back in the old days from the original Zoids, there was a little bit of history lesson, or at least in my country, there was actually a full-on war between Bandai's Gunpla and Takara Tomy's Zoids. Eventually, obviously, Gunpla won, and I think one of the main reasons that Gunpla won was because of articulation, freedom of what you can do with the kit. When I mean by freedom, like you can pose any way you want to do so. You can move the arms, legs individually, everything. Zoids Wilds or Zoids kits at that time in general, excluding Zoid blocks. Yes, I know what those are. This is limited due to this. As you can see, these Zoids kits or parts are motorized. These things are motorized, hence meaning that there is inside the middle there's actually a battery powered motor. This one in this case uses a single AAA battery, and by turning that on, this kit will move on its own as well. So if I built this correctly, I don't know, there we go. So you can see the legs move, it will move, and then it'll also open its mouth up and down. Now technically it's only the top head that's moving up and down. The mouth is more of a manual thing, so you can, depending on your preference, you can kind of control how much you can see the Zoids is opening its mouth. So the mouth you can open on its own. So with this, any signs of articulation is eliminated. There is no like double jointed bend or how like 360 twist. There is nothing here. If I want to move it in front, I can't, because it's practically locked into place. So this middle one, these things use also like these rubberized polycap kind of things to basically lock joints in. So this is the one that mainly spins. I believe this one is the joint that comes out from the motor. There is another joint that you connect to the motor, and then you put it here, and this is the part that should rotate, and then there should be another peg up here that's connected to the leg, which will also move at the same time. So there's like 2 pegs locking the legs up, so there is no articulation. And this entire leg here is a single piece. There is no mid bend, so pretty much a big chunk of piece. And also the feet is like that because it has to move. So same goes for the back leg, same premise as well. And another thing that I was slightly, I guess it would be a little bit sad, or is the direction where Takara Tomy is taking this. So Zoid Wilds, obviously the anime is definitely meant for kids. I understand that as well. But once again, when you consider the age of the people who first saw the original Zoids and grew up, you know, they're all adults, and if they still like it, they're pretty much hobbyists as well. I do wish they would take a little bit more hobbyist approach, or at least to consider the more older audience, because let's be honest, like, I believe the hobbyist or older audience are buying more toys than ever. But yeah, I feel like Takara Tomy is still too focused on making toys. I know they have the Diaclone line, which is a very like hobbyist brand, a collectible and very expensive brand, and I wish they would give that a little bit to Zoids as well, because I would love to see either an HMM from Kotobukiya, of course that's Kotobukiya's job, or they would make a new line from Takara Tomy, like if there's HG, RG, MG Gunpla, I wish they would also do something similar, like an HG style, like, you know, Zoid. And so instead of these motorized functions, you can get rid of one of these pegs, change this into like a ball joint connection, and then sure, they can keep the single piece leg, but change also the feet into a ball joint connection so that it would have a pivot joint. Same goes for the legs, so you can have, you know, you can have a wider spread, and you can move the legs forward entirely as well, and the back legs back entirely as well, to have more articulation and more lively, and maybe have a head, ball jointed head. Of course, this head, in this case, the way how you connect it is that you connect the middle jaw to the main body, and then you basically build up the head part. So that's the way how it works. But anyway, because of the motorized aspect, no articulation. So there's only a few parts you can move. Number one is the mouth, the lower mouth as well. You can move that. And then the tail is connected to a ball joint. So I think this one, they did a pretty good job. This was a pretty good idea as well. It has a little more range of movement. So because I believe back in the old days, the original Zoids, I don't think there was ever a ball jointed tail Zoid, as far as I know. Usually they would be just connected, so up and down was all you get. So very well done. And that's pretty much it for the any single part moves. There are two modes. So once again, if you turn on the switch, this is like the assault or attack mode, or, you know, prepared mode, as far as the instruction manual kind of explains it. The translation in Korean isn't the best, but once again, and then you can pull this head downwards, which is to be like a less threatened mode. So like, I guess it would be like a more neutral mode as well. So nothing too special here. It's just like you can do that, and by doing this, the head or mouth does not move at all by doing this as well. All right, and then finally, you might be wondering why I hated the Zoids Wild pilot. So this one is at least, you know, acceptable for me. So you open this section up, and you can see there's like this section here. You open it up and reveals the pilot seat, and the pilot is in like a motorcycle stance, which, okay, I don't mind, because we've seen these type of pilot like posture a few times in other series as well, so it's fine. And the pilot is entirely clear, so that one is fine. So this one, which is why I bought. The other stuff, as far as I've seen, is that most of the other Zoid Wilds is that the pilot figurine is on top of the head or on the back, exposed. That seems extremely dangerous, considering that some Zoids are firing lasers, missiles, or close combat type, and you are exposed on top of the Zoid in the motorcycle stance. Like, that is a big no thank you for me. So yeah, that's pretty much my only opinion, that why I wasn't too fond of Zoid Wilds. Anyway, so that's that. And then this kit also comes with this. Now, as far as I know, this is supposed to be, the Impact Gatling is supposed to be a separate product, but based on my country, everywhere I've seen, it seems like they always sell these two together as a set. So there, if there is a way to get this separately, do let me know, because I'm just kind of curious at this point. Now, the Impact Gatling here, it's literally a Gatling gun, but it seems like, according to Zoids Wild Zenki, this thing has like a core system as well, and that has a special ability to basically power up any attachments it has as well, or to activate it to go its full potential. So while it can just fire normally, it can also fire power shots through a Gatling gun. So that's that. So this thing is also packaged kind of separately. So here we go. So this thing can move side to side or 360 if you want to do so. Going up and down is also possible. Doesn't go up as much as you think, but still, and then it rotates as well. And this actually rotating gimmick is actually present in the kit. And another thing I should mention regarding this kit is that once I opened the box, I was very surprised to see no runners, no plot plates. Every single piece that you need to build in this kit were already cut off from the plates, so there were no plates at all. Now, to some people, this might be a good thing, because I know some people really hate looking for the part in the plate, cutting them off, sanding them off. Now, they did try their best to, like, you know, be clean by cutting, but not exactly entirely so. Yeah, but I feel like that also takes a little bit of the fun of making a kit, so oh well. Alright, so the way how you're supposed to connect this is that first, number one, you need to detach this back part. So like if you've seen these Zoids Wild Zenki, you can see they actually slide the equipment. So in order to detach this, you also need to slide backwards and detach. And you can see there is a small black piece here. We'll get into that later. And to attach this, you also basically attach, where is it? There we go. You push it in there. You put it there, and then you slide forwards, and it locks into place. And this last piece, you can see there's a peg here. You can also connect that there as well. So that's actually mentioned in the manual. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, we have this leftover piece. This is just a basic, this is something that goes into the Gatling gun to make the move. You just get a double piece, so no big deal. No stickers, by the way. The eyes here may look like clear piece, but there's just painted on as well. Alright, so now we have the impact Gatling on. Now, with having some weapons, it actually looks pretty good. Now originally you might have thought, man, this thing doesn't really have any weapons. That's not really the case. According to the manual, this thing has a lot of built-in weapons. So this is like, you can see this round molded here, that's also supposed to be like a gun. There's also something inside the shoulder, according to the box, called a sawed-off shotgun, which does not make any sense. And these are also like missile launchers here. This triangular one here and here is a latch or a hatch that can open up to fire missiles. So it does have some built-in weapons in general. And it goes out without saying, we can see there we have all these pegs and holes for customization. Alright, so now we have the gun on. So does this make a difference? Kind of yes and no. So you can still go up, going side to side is possible, no big deal. But once you have it on the back and then turn on the motor, oh, whoops. Sorry about that. That does not sound correct. Give me a moment. There we go. The gear was not fully connected. So you can see, after every few movements, you can see the Gatling gun kind of spinning like that. So there is like a small gimmick where there's this that black long stick you just saw as a leftover. There's a piece that it's inside, and there's another gear that constantly rotates, and every time that rotates, it hits the black stick, and the black stick will whack on the end tip of the Gatling gun inside to make it look like it's spinning. Although I would have preferred if this was constantly spinning rather than spinning a short bit and then not spinning. So that's that. So yeah, it is a fun gimmick, so no big deal. And this, I believe, if you have the head down, yeah, you can still spin it as well. So no big deal. It's just a fun gimmick. Although once again, they are really trying their best to, you know, to market this as a kid's toy. Although I do wish they would have gone a little bit more than that. Now, is that it? There is one more. So what you can do is basically detach the gun here, like I said, and you have these 4 pegs, and then you have 3 holes here. And remember that black piece I mentioned here? You can actually take this part out, detach the poly cap here, and you can see on the inside, you can see there's a small peg there. And there is actually a latch or tooth there that fits perfectly. So what this does is that you can see there is a gear, you can see this gearbox here. You can slap this onto the leg. Now this will also apply to the other side of the leg, just letting you guys know. And now you have the Gatling gun onto the side. Now, if you don't want the moving gimmick, you can totally ignore that part as well. But once again, now you have the connecting point onto the leg. If you have 2 of these, you can attach on both legs if you want to do so. And then now once you move the leg, now it still spins, but compared to when it's on the back, it takes a little bit, few more seconds to actually spin as well. It takes like, I believe 1 or 2 more seconds to spin. For I don't know what's the main reason, but yeah, I guess I'm assuming the part that's connected to the legs doesn't spin as much as compared to this one here. So yeah, it's a pretty okay gimmick as well. But there is, if you've seen the Zoids Wild Zenki, you might have remember that the Burning Liger uses like a drill or sphere with a shield and a booster pack with a sword, and which he can use it on his mouth. I would love to get those equipment, although I have not really figured out where those are yet. I found the booster unit, but not the shield and drill combo as well, and the knife thing. Anyway, that is pretty much it for the review. So the Burning Liger, I absolutely love the design here, although I will someday would love to see either an HMM version or maybe from something new from Takara Tomy where this is more articulated in the same size as well, instead of being a motorized toy which limits all the articulation here. So once again, do give me your opinion on how you think about the Zoids kits, or do you think they should have like more, like they should kind of go with the direction similar to Gunpla or not? And once again, we do have Kotobukiya, but once again, Kotobukiya products are very limited. They're usually from the original series other than Liger Zero stuff as well, so do let me know. Anyway, this was pretty much it for the review. This was the review of the Burning Liger from Zoids Wild Zenki, made by Takara Tomy. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave them comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.